So I'm back again with another special. I got this new 28 volt power supply. Now this one actually didn't have any dimensions in the listing and no one seems to have bought it, so it's relatively new, I suppose. The outer casing actually looks extremely nice. I'd even go as far as saying gorgeous. The seller did say waterproof, so I did assume they have at least some kind of case for it. They do not. I don't really mind because I'm going to put it in the Mac Cube power supply enclosure. So that's actually very good because this one is quite small. Let me actually bring a caliper in and we'll take a quick look at the dimensions first. Okay, so dimensions of this are 3.5 centimeters depth by 8.5 width and height. Yeah, good enough. So about 13 centimeters length. Okay, so a quick look at the construction of this. Not too bad. I mean, the components are, it's QC passed. I mean, that's always got to be nice. Nice to know. It's actually soldering and layout-wise, kind of funky little setup they have going over. So yeah, the caps are shit, and you can change them, I suppose, if you really want it. There's NTC here, so I mean, I don't know. It has a common mode choke, so it's not too bad. It has a Y-class capacitor over there, not too bad. I mean, at first glance, everything seems quite fine. It's rated 200 watts, 28 volts, so it's like, I don't know. It's probably not going to do 5 amps. Or more than 5 amps, right? It's got to do about 7 amps at 28. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that, and the reason for that is the following. So first of all, let's actually disconnect the LED, or now we can actually leave it in because it does it either way. I plugged it in, tiny little pop. I mean, it might have been something on the table. I'm tearing down the TV right now, and I had all the crap on it. I don't know. It might have been, but I don't think it was. So tiny little pop. Anyway, it kept working. And this incredibly loud, high-pitched whine, which I have no idea where it's coming from. I would assume some capacitors are resonating with that, or actually the switching MOSFETs are making the noise. Or the I mean, who knows? And it might actually be the MOSFETs, so something is going on, the frequency is too low, or some shit is wrong. And that in and of itself would have been a pretty big problem, but it started going into this tick mode. I mean, it had nothing connected to it. Actually, let's just go over everything because it's quite annoying when someone just says what happens and doesn't actually show it. So let's disconnect our 100 watt LED. It's the only consumer I have that works on such a high voltage. Well, except the Mac Cube, but I'm not going to test supplies from China on that. So. Okay, so let's see some voltage also. Alright. So this is disconnected, volts. And I'm always, I don't know, standing back a bit because this still scares me. So let's see. Okay, so I don't know, I'm pretty sure you can hear it. The iPhone has a pretty decent mic, but hear this. And like my refrigerator is running and it's not a perfectly silent room by any means. So I think it is actually the MOSFETs. And okay, so 24 volts, and it has a pretty decent range, like all of these seem to. The other one I bought also had a quite good range, so it goes all the way up to almost 31. And down to what is this, 18. Right, and while I've adjusted this, you might have heard that the whine stopped, but something else is happening now. So now it's in this clock tick mode. And yeah, let's actually connect a load and see how that looks. Anyway, at one point I will get an oscilloscope and all of that, but right now it is what it is. And a very nice expression is you piss with the cock you got, right? So I think I learned that from Abe. That is a very good expression. Alright, so got the LED, and let's get the measurement on. So the voltage, I don't know, for the most part is there, but this will do some smoothing, and yeah, I'm not sure it's exactly what it says. How high were we on the voltage? I mean, this could take up to 30 something volts. Okay, so we're at 19 and the LED is off, and that is to be expected. This has a, I think, 10 series string, so let's... Okay, so it's out of tick mode. I mean, you would expect tick mode at like 18 volts, right? If it's perhaps outside its rated capacity. So we have the LED lit now. Let's dim the... It's a piece of shit LED, like you can see how uneven the... What I want to get at though is the tick mode. Well, obviously it's not going to do it now. Huh? There we go. So this is kind of what we're looking at. And indeed you seem to have to go down for it to go into this mode. And it seems to stabilize at 27. I mean, I don't know. I'm very much afraid of it doing that whilst it's at 27, right? I don't think it's going to happen though. Because it does seem to stabilize when it goes up to 28. Yeah, this is fucking bright. How hot is this? Alright, so yeah, basically this is the as deep of an overview I can give on this. Do not use it on the low end. Right? Nothing below 27 seems to be stable. I'm very worried about the whine though, so I'm going to have a talk with the seller about this because it's unlivable. I mean, you can hear it from across the room, no problems. So yeah. Alright, have a good one, guys. Also, one more thing, this is actual switching noise, right? So with a very small load, the LED seems bright now, but it really isn't. So with a small load, indeed it does do this noise, but once you do increase the current draw, pull more from it, it does actually go away. And I can't, even when it is making this noise, I can't get it to have any flicker on camera, so it's also not too bad. So let's bump up the voltage. Alright, so now it's dead silent. And I think it has like two frequencies, discrete frequencies that it pulse width modulates. Yeah, perhaps not discrete, but you can definitely hear it now. And see how it goes away. And now it's completely dead silent. So I suppose, right, yeah, it's not all that bad. Right, and it is rated to be 28 volts, so yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to draw 18 volts from a 28 volt supply. I mean, you should have gotten a 20 volt one. And the switching also increases as the voltage in the reservoir caps decreases, so if you run this on 120 volts, I'm actually not sure it'll do that, so will it? Yeah, it actually will. So on 120 volts, so in the States and wherever that seemed like a good idea, it will not make the noise, because look what happens when I unplug it. Noise also goes away. And so yeah, you only have the noise issue when you're powering off of 220 volts, 240. and have extremely low loads, right? Or at times low loads, but actually the Mac will always draw more than 1 amp, so it might be fine. If it's in sleep, it won't though, so this will start making a racket. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.